Tonight, across America, a quiet crisis is unfolding in the homes and hearts of millions. A painful economic reality is setting in, as families gather around kitchen tables, anxiously reviewing bills and wondering how they'll make ends meet. A policy designed to protect American jobs has, in a twist of fate, become the very reason so many are vanishing. Factories that once buzzed with activity now stand silent, as workers carry their belongings out the door, uncertain of what tomorrow will bring. The recent 50% tariff on imported aluminum has led to an estimated 100,000 American workers losing their jobs, an impact that ripples far beyond the factory gates. These aren't just numbers, there are neighbors, friends and family. Each job lost means a story interrupted, a dream put on hold. The intention was to shield American industries, but the reality is far different, leaving communities to grapple with the fallout. Instead of protection, the tariff has driven up costs for manufacturers and small businesses, making it harder to compete and locking American companies out of the global supply chain. The very workers this policy aimed to help are now facing unemployment, left to pick up the pieces of a broken promise and search for new opportunities in a shrinking job market. The fallout is everywhere, from the Midwest to the South. Factories sit quieter, families face impossible choices, and communities reel from the shock of sudden change. People are dipping into savings, delaying life events like college or retirement, and worrying about basic needs such as food and healthcare. This is the real consequence of tariff turmoil, a human cost measured in sleepless nights, anxious conversations, and uncertain futures. For 100,000 American families, the promise of security has turned into a daily struggle for survival, and the true price of this trade war is being paid in living rooms across the nation. To understand this crisis, we first need to look at the basic building blocks of international trade and how government policies can ripple through entire communities. One of the most important and controversial tools in trade is the tariff. A tariff is essentially a tax placed on goods that are brought into a country from abroad. The main idea behind tariffs is to make imported products more expensive, so that American-made goods seem like a better deal to shoppers. For example, the recent aluminum tariff was introduced with the goal of protecting U.S. producers and boosting job creation in American factories. But the economy is a complex web, and tariffs are a blunt instrument that can have far-reaching effects. Aluminum isn't just used by a few companies. It's a vital raw material for thousands of American businesses, from car manufacturers to canning plants and beyond. The tariff didn't just make foreign aluminum more expensive. It also allowed domestic producers to raise their prices, knowing that competition was now limited. This sent shockwaves through the supply chain, squeezing manufacturers between soaring costs and the constant pressure to keep their products affordable and competitive. Imagine a baker whose flour price jumps 50% overnight. Suddenly, they must choose between raising prices and losing customers, or absorbing the cost and risking closure. Thousands of manufacturers across the country face this same dilemma, forced to cut back production, lay off workers, or even shut their doors for good. In the end, a policy designed to help one sector of the economy ended up causing hardship for many others, showing just how complicated the effects of tariffs can be. The aluminum tariff's impact rippled across the entire economy. Automakers faced higher costs, forcing tough choices, raise car prices or cut jobs. Food companies saw can and packaging costs soar, leading to layoffs and canceled expansions. Construction projects stalled as aluminum prices blew budgets, slowing new builds and costing jobs. Even aerospace suffered, with pricier aluminum making American planes less competitive globally. From cars to cans to skyscrapers and airplanes, the cost of a single metal reshaped entire industries. The chain reaction was swift and severe. A policy aimed at one sector ended up causing widespread damage. The lesson: in an interconnected economy, no industry stands. The current crisis is a painful reminder. Economic policies have real-world consequences that ripple through households, businesses, and entire communities. Ignoring history's lessons has led us here, again. Only by learning from the past can we hope to build a more resilient future. Behind the headlines are real people, 100,000 stories of shock and uncertainty. The auto worker in Michigan, the single mother in Ohio, the small business owner, all facing an uncertain future. When jobs disappear, communities unravel, and local businesses suffer. Economic decisions aren't just numbers, they shape lives. The lesson is clear: policies must be judged by their results, not intentions. We need strategies that create broad prosperity, not blunt tools that cause widespread harm. As families struggle tonight, their stories remind us that trade policies change lives, for better or worse. We owe it to them to choose policies that unite and strengthen our nation, not divide and diminish it.